gosh.
Yep.
It's
Drop
the
it like
big
it's hot.
one.
That's really cheesy that I said that. I didn't plan on that. I'm sorry.
I'm really glad that you said that.
I don't know.
Actually, yeah, you're like, I don't know if I.
I've been like rethinking. This is so random, but last night we were talking about Snoop Dogg or whatever, and my husband was like, I don't know how we came up, and I was like, you know what? I forgive Snoop Dogg, but his like videos and songs were pretty harmful to women.
Oh yeah, very misogynistic. Very misogynistic.
Yeah, and so I don't know. And Drop It Like It's Hot is Snoop Dogg, right? Yeah.
I think so. I'm just now I'm like, why is she
like
talking
Pharrell.
about Snoop Dogg? And now it's like, oh yes.
Anyway.
No, there was this whole period where it was like the thong song and all that stuff was just like about sexualizing women.
Yeah, we just like don't respect women and just like, I don't know. But that's all changed. And what else has changed is we have a season 3 Family Karma trailer.
Ooh.
And you said, let's record. And I was like, okay, let's do this.
Like it literally just came out at BravoCon. Here's what happened. Because the BravoCon Family Karma panel was at 4:15 and it's now 4:45 Mountain Time.
Yeah. So was that 6:15?
So that means, yeah.
Okay.
So it happened like 2.5 hours ago.
Okay.
And basically when it started was like when my son went down for a nap and I'm almost 38 weeks pregnant. And I was like, I'm taking a nap too. So I like took a nap and then I wake up and open Instagram and the world is like on fire with the trailers. There's a shorter trailer and a longer trailer that have dropped. The season premiere is much sooner than I thought. November 6th. That's wild.
That's like 3 weeks.
It's like,
no,
it's like
3.5.
There are like some gods somewhere laughing at me because I've been waiting for this for over a year. And now the premiere is less than a week after my due date with this baby.
I know.
So we'll see how it goes in terms of our recaps. Like I may have to miss 1 or 2 or maybe I'll be feeling great and
maybe
while
need
the
a
baby's
release.
napping, we can do a quick recap. I mean, I will definitely, the gift is that I will have the show to watch.
Yes.
While I'm at home breastfeeding around the clock. And we all know Bravo is one of the best things to have in your corner when you're nursing.
It should be that insurance gives you a pump and then the Bravo schedule for the next like 6 months. You know what I mean?
It should come with the breast pump. It really should.
It's like laminated, like, like in case you get some milk spilled on it. It's like
totally.
Okay, so here is like what premieres, what time if you want to watch it live.
Or
this
like
is best
if you're
for
not
2 a.m.
Yeah, and I don't want to exclude mothers who choose not to nurse or can't nurse or whatever because you deserve that Bravo schedule too.
Oh, I was up because I only nursed for a very short period of time, but I was still up with baby, like doing the bottle feed with the formula, watching, you got to
do
Bravo.
Something to stay awake and to just make your life not all about keeping this little blob of something alive.
It is a blob. Yeah.
It's a blob. A cute blob. Very cute blob.
Very cute.
But I digress. I was like, Deanna, can you record right now? Like, should we talk about the trailer? Because it's pretty wild.
Sure. Yeah. I was just reposting stuff to Twitter. And just like very interested. I'm also interested, like, who's posting about this, and so I actually went through, just Googled Family Karma, and I just was kind of hearting people and reposting stuff because, we need to, as the Family Karma podcast.
Yes.
We need to heart and retweet
everything.
Other people's appreciation of the show.
I mean, so it is BravoCon right now, and I have been reposting like everything I see with pictures of the cast on Instagram. So definitely check that out. And
I mean, everyone looks stunning, and I love their outfits.
It's so amazing to see like traditional Indian clothing at BravoCon. Like,
oh, that's actually a really good point. Thank you for...
Well, it's just like, I mean, I think I've said this on the podcast before and told you, like, when I was a kid, I was so, like, disconnected from my, like, heritage in terms of clothing that I would wear Indian clothes as a Halloween costume.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I felt like it was like the only acceptable time for me to wear this is like when I'm almost making fun of it, kind of.
Right.
But like this cast is coming out, including Nicholas, I will say, in full Indian garb, looking absolutely fantastic. And like just standing out like from everyone else.
Oh, completely. I mean, it's like I was looking last night. I had a margarita and a quarter, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm done."
That sounds amazing.
You know? And so Andrew and I, we sat at the bar, and we put our kids at the bar, and so it's like because there was the television, and so we're like, okay, they can watch like television, and we'll like pretend we're on a date.
Yes.
And I was actually like explaining to him, I'm like, so BravoCon's right now. And so our show, it's important that like, if you can, you have a Bravo show that you can watch with your partner.
Yeah.
And as much as he doesn't really watch a lot of them, like ours is
Below Deck.
Below Deck.
Yes.
And so we were looking at the Below Deck, and I started just following like everyone on Below Deck. And it was like, it's that whole thing. I'm trying to think of like what it's like seeing Sheena Shea with like Below Deck people, with like Family Karma people, and people would be like, it's the Avengers
and then like
meeting
Karen
up.
Huger on the side.
I know. I feel like it's more. I feel like it's Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse sitting next to Barbie, sitting next to like a Cabbage Patch doll, like all just like. Like, how else would you describe? Like, it just kind of blows your mind.
It is really wild. Like, some of the pictures I've seen, I'm like, have never even thought about these two people together. And here they are.
Marlo talking to Kathy Hilton. And like I could have rolled back in my chair after a margarita. I was just like, I can't take this. Like, I can't.
Saw a video that Bali posted of her and Lala talking about relationship stuff. And I was like, shit.
That's like He-Man hanging out with like Tom Hanks or something. Like, it's just like, doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
It's so wild. It's really wild, and it's exciting to see. I'm sad.
It's exciting, but it'll make your brain like kind of
melt
because you can't. Yeah, because they're all compartmentalized. You know what I mean? They all live in their like. I saw Heather.
Yeah.
With like
she's been hanging with a lot of the Family Karma folks. I've seen a lot.
She has,
and which does not surprise me. Heather getting along with all the Family Karma people, like absolutely.
It's just like I saw Heather and Candace, and I was like,
Candace is all over the map. Oh, Bali posted something with Candace too.
I was like,
and Candace was talking about how John Legend wouldn't sing at her wedding, and she was all sad about it. And then everyone's talking about Chrissy Teigen is like all over everybody's Instagram.
I saw that. Oh my god! I mean, this is like, it's just like it's more I know people are saying it's like the Marvel universe. It's more than that.
No, it's beyond.
It's like Disney Plus universe. Like, it's like we're getting like National Geographic. We're getting Disney. We're getting Marvel. You know, I don't know what else they own.
Because
they
there's
own
so many different shows. And like almost all of them are there. I haven't seen Top Chef people there at all.
I retweeted Padma. I saw her. She tweeted her getting ready. And yesterday I retweeted. She looked incredible.
So she is going.
She looks like she's there, yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Because they just wrapped filming of Top Chef this last season.
Maybe it was...
Well,
maybe then it was for that.
I don't know, but
I thought it was BravoCon.
Yeah, I mean, she's like a huge star, but anyway, it's very exciting. And they the panel, they dropped the trailer.
Could you imagine the after parties?
Oh my god.
Oh, do you want to hear the funniest tweet I've read? Wait, I want to get it word for word. Okay, so Boy Meets Bravo podcast. Shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he met Amrit today because I posted today. How do we submit this for People's Most Beautiful list? And please retweet that because I think all the members of Family Karma, because you know how People does that shallow People's Most Beautiful.
Yeah.
Why don't we get some of our like
Bravo
our
Labs
favorite? Yes, which is Family Karma. And so one of the posts was someone holding, okay, I really want to get this right. Overheard at BravoCon, Boy Meets Bravo podcast. Anyone sees Shep Rose trying to get pregnant. And then it says update. She's holding a bedroom candy bag. So when she does find him, ... So people are actually trying to sleep with Shep there, which is understandable, right?
Yes. Very understandable.
Would I sleep with Shep? No. Not for me.
The amount of like just knowing how many people he's been with, there's something not nice about that.
He just doesn't do anything. But I support people sleeping with him and telling us how it was.
Oh yes,
and
absolutely.
And we support people sleeping with people in general, especially if they're Bravo celebrities. Anyway, back to, I just thought that was so funny.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the trailer. So I'm going to actually like play it and then stop and start it so we can talk about everything in it.
I love it.
So it starts with Amrit and Vishal having a little bromance thing, which of course, and they're like, you're both getting married, which is actually, I hadn't even thought about the fact that they're like lifelong besties and they're both getting married in the same year.
Well, it's so interesting because when they said that, I thought of Monica, who so much.
Yes. And
I'm not trying to say that to dog her. I mean that like because this is something she really wants in her life and that as like it's not an end goal, but one of the goals. And
that's really featured in the trailer.
Yeah, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So that was my is that okay to say my thoughts during it? That was my first thought.
It's all connected. So they're just showing like all the pictures from the weddings, including the one in Mexico, Vishal and Richa, and then they show some shots of like Amrit and Nicholas's wedding and like stuff about a perfect Bollywood wedding and stuff. And the
aunties are in it a lot.
The auntie drama that's
real. What I'm talking about.
So there's lots of like fun shots because there's like a ton of partying this season, right? Okay, so the first thing that we see that's like plot related besides the weddings is Brian on a date with a woman who's asking if she can feel his biceps. And this is Avni Parekh, who I have talked about on previous episodes because she was rumored to be on the show.
Right.
And I had a
feeling... But
feeling...
she's not the one who had the child, right? There was the one that... maybe that was season 1.
No, yeah, that was Shira. And she was... I think she filmed for season 2 and then was cut from the final edit. And they've decided to not continue with her.
Could you imagine?
Well, I think she's really close with the Patels too, and we all know how they have been kind of like I saw Kalpana Auntie once in the trailer, like briefly, but there's no sign of Sean.
She was with all the aunties.
She's with all the aunties, like at one of the auntie parties.
But why did they cut ties?
This is what I need to know. I still don't know. And it's like, maybe we'll find out more. I really hope that they get into it in the season, at least a little bit, because.
Is it rude if I ask on Twitter?
No,
that's rude.
I've been asked. I don't think it's rude. Everyone's wondering like what happened because like they didn't attend these weddings either. And like Sean got married this year too.
Right.
And like Vishal's family, as far as I know, didn't go, or Vishal was definitely not there. So anyway, there's this woman, Avni, and I think that she like writes motivational books and maybe does like motivational speaking.
That's right. It's all coming back to me. Yes. And I have to say, and I no shade to her.
Yeah.
When I hear that, and this is your realm, I think of Bachelorette contestants.
Yes, like there's always like the motivational speaker, or
it's like this is why. Like what's training? I'm just talking about the Bachelorette. Like I'm 26. I'm a motivational. It's 26. Like what are we?
I know, like the keys to life. Like no,
I was like, who gives you the right? What sort of?
I'm gonna say I don't want to throw anything out there. I think Avni's has like a specific point of view in what she does, but I'm not really sure what that is. So we'll find out.
And can
more.
we say something that is, I sent you yesterday,
Yeah.
and don't ask me how I got in this rabbit hole. Speaking of Bravo celebrities, and well, this is just a brief blip.
Yeah.
Jen Shah's lawyer is South Asian.
Yes, she
American.
is. Her name is Priya something. And Deanna's like, do you think we can get her on the podcast? And I'm like, I mean, that would be a dream, literally. But
well, because I was reading, because her sentencing just got pushed back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was reading her lawyer and I was like, Google.
Yeah.
And like, this is what this podcast has made me do. I know. And it's for the better, because it's like, we need to know like who is representing Jen Shah and their background.
Oh my gosh.
And we need to talk to them on this podcast.
Apparently Jen was not invited to BravoCon, but she showed up anyway.
This is what it says. Jen Shah is an admitted criminal swindling the most vulnerable of our society, and they have her at BravoCon. She wasn't invited,
though. She was not invited.
Yeah, so Rit said, so I didn't realize this, but they uninvited her and she came anyway.
Yep. Which is that's on brand for Jen Shah, I want to say.
Why did they uninvite her?
Something must have gone down, or I don't know. Maybe it's because she's in the middle of the court proceedings.
Okay, we're setting they're giving her money and featuring her on a show as a main player.
Yeah.
If you've done all of that and you're going to admit you're guilty during the season, how bad does it have to be that you're uninvited?
That is so true.
Did you murder someone?
What happened?
Because you swindled a vulnerable population out of all of their money and made people broke.
Yeah. Like really bad stuff. Like really, really bad. Anyway.
And Rinna got booed. I'm sorry to keep
going. And Rinna got booed, which I don't want to part of me felt bad for her in that moment, maybe for the first time in months. But part of me was like, well,
this is we could do a whole podcast on Rinna. I mean, watching her in the last episode was like, okay, Rinna.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue on.
So we've got this new love interest. They're caught kissing in some pantry, it looks like, or something at a party. So word on the street is Brian does have a girlfriend now.
Wait, I thought he was saying at BravoCon that he's single, or maybe
Did
they're
he
just
say
saying
that?
I think maybe they're just saying that from the trailer.
Yeah, so he says that in the trailer, but I think since the season has wrapped, he is actually with someone now, and maybe it's this woman. Who knows? But we'll find out more. Okay, so he says he's single and thriving in the thing, and okay. I mean, she's pretty.
She's gorgeous.
And there's a moment of her, she's having dinner with Bali and Richa and talking and being like, oh, well, he's a grown man. And Richa's like, well, that's up for debate. And then there's him trying to ride a little toy horse and he's like, ow, my dick. Okay. So then there's the Anisha thing where she's like,
okay, this is wild.
She's like, I'm not introducing my fiance.
I didn't realize.
Anyone.
Imagine if I was getting married and I was like, Indra, you can't meet him until we're at our wedding.
Okay, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine.
I swear to God, I couldn't imagine.
It's just okay,
why is the reasoning? What is the reasoning? And I know she probably has a pretty good one, but it's just hard for me to think of a reason.
Well, I think it's probably, if she wasn't on the show, I'm sure she would be introducing him.
But they're her friends, and if she's like, "Hey, I'll introduce you
off camera."
to him.
Yeah,
off camera. Don't talk shit.
Well, I think maybe it's because he doesn't live in Miami. So
I know, but I know I'm being argumentative, but I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
You should be.
Remember we opened up the whole show with her being on the pooper, the shitter, and
with Vishal, texting with Vishal.
Vishal hasn't. And I know their relationship has probably changed since the show started, but they have not even met.
Well, it's just. And there were only 20 people at her wedding. And so she just put out a podcast episode on her podcast about the wedding. And I only heard like the first 15 or 20 minutes of it. And it's like...
Oh, and she looks great, by the way.
Oh.
Shout out to Anisha.
Yeah, Anisha looks stunning.
I do want to give like her, like she looks incredible.
And she is going to share photos of her wedding. She actually like DM'd me photos of
how does it look?
Her and her husband and stuff. And by the way, everyone, we were wrong about who her husband is.
Because I didn't want to say, I was like, this guy looks like an infomercial at 1 a.m. This is like...
No, so the tip I got was obviously bad and...
incredible. Send us, like, you took us off the beaten path. You know what I mean? Water, it's like water is this way. And we're like, are you sure? Like, there's snakes and they're like, keep walking.
Just keep going. Yeah, no. It's someone completely different. I've seen a photo of him now. I will say he's very handsome. And
does he have long hair? Because the picture that they blacked out the face, the guy had a ponytail.
I don't think that's him, or at least from the photo
why
I
were they
saw.
Doing it?
I know.
Why were they doing a picture of a guy with like long hair?
Maybe he had long hair once upon a time. It looked like a mug shot that had been.
I know. Straight up, they're tricking us.
So all we know is he's been to prison, but no, I do not think that fits the profile of this guy. But on her podcast, she said it was a 20-person wedding, but she thinks that it cost the same as a 200-person wedding would have cost. So she's just like...
What did they fly in? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? For 20 people?
I think it was like... So I did see some shots of it, and I put one up on Instagram because one of the guests, her neighbor Julio, one of the few guests that was there... he posted something in his stories. So I put it up, and then Anisha asked me to take it down for a good reason. There was a reason, and I'll just let that go. And there was no issue there. So I took it down, but I did get to see, like, there are flowers everywhere, and flowers are super expensive. Indian outfits are very expensive.
Was it Scottsdale or Miami? Remind me. You probably just said this.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm thinking of, so there's flowers everywhere. Was it like
top-notch food, everything.
Remember when Kim and Kanye got married and it was like the wall of flowers kind of thing? Or it was like a wall?
I think it's like that and everywhere, like on the ground, above you, on the mandap, which is like the altar thing that they get married under.
So it was very colorful?
It looked very like lots of shades of like pink and white.
Oh,
and
that's sweet.
She looked amazing in her lehenga. And there's going to be pictures coming out eventually. I'm not sure exactly when, but I mean, it's so funny because in the trailer, her mom's like, I want her to be even more private about it. And I'm like, I just like, why? Like, don't you want to see how this person is with your friends and family? Like, I mean, it seems like her family has all met him, and maybe that's all that matters to her. I don't know. Clearly that is, but
I am wondering, and I don't know if she'll ever get into this, what happened in her previous relationship that might have impacted the way she approaches this relationship.
Totally. I mean,
just curious.
Maybe she just didn't want any noise, you know? It's like, I like this person. I'm on this track. I have this like 2-year plan or whatever to like get married and have kids and here it is. I mean, she seems very happy from the way she talks about him on the podcast. It sounds like.
Do you think he's in New York City?
No, I think he's a physician. So I think he's.
No, but do you think he went to BravoCon?
Oh, no. I don't think he's there. I think he's like a busy guy who works in Scottsdale.
That's so wild.
As like some sort of doctor.
Good for her. Good for him. I mean, he's a better man than I am a woman because you tell me BravoCon and I'm like,
I know.
Like,
right?
I would just be the first one to.
But Anisha posted a like thing on her Instagram stories about how lovely it's been to be at BravoCon and all the love that the whole cast has felt from everyone and support for the show, which is really, really awesome to hear.
And that's the thing. It's like, keep tweeting about it. Like we've been told, keep tweeting about it, get the hype up, tell your friends, tell people overseas because they can, they can watch it. they get it in, the UK, India, all over. And so it's just like, let's show Bravo that this is an important show.
Yes.
And plus, like, the more people watch it, the more they get paid and the more exposure they get. And these people deserve it. It's about time, especially, it was interesting. And this is a side note, because Andy had to, I was reading that the first night of BravoCon, he had to justify why he was putting the new Real Housewives of New York before the legacy cast of like shooting schedule and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, those old white bitches on the Upper West Side or East Side, they can fucking hold their horses.
Yeah, some of whom are like outwardly racist and terrible people.
Yes, thank you. Yes, let's pinpoint it. Let's get like, he's saying they're from everywhere. We know that there's 1 or 2 South Asian women, or one.
I think that there's at least 2, and there might be 3 the last time I heard.
What?
Yeah, maybe another friend of, or maybe another cast member.
Are they, what borough are they in?
I don't know.
But my thing is like, let's bring like new voices, other voices to the forefront, especially in Bravo. Like, for me, it's just like watching Austin again. I don't watch Winter House. Watching Austin in the Winter House trailer, I was like, this needs to go away.
Yeah, Austin,
you know what I mean?
And everyone
like,
feels that way. Nobody likes
I
him.
would rather and I would rather see, for me, like Shep, who's just like, I don't know. They're both whatever, but like, let's get new voices on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like,
well,
I don't want to see people that look like Shep or Austin on my screen anymore.
No, and
Bravo.
I think what's like really nice about knowing that Family Karma is like getting some recognition at BravoCon, and like Bravo is like having to like pay attention to them. And by the way, they've been commenting and liking like on my posts lately, which is really awesome.
I saw. Does Bravo TV follow us?
Yeah, they like.
Oh, cool.
I mean, we do more on our Instagram than their official Family Karma Instagram. I'm like,
wild.
Can they hire me? Like, what's going on?
What the fuck? I know.
I mean, from a source close to the cast, I won't reveal who. The cast has been feeling really upset lately about the network.
Not good, but good that they're.
I want to tell you that earlier this week, the cast did not know about the premiere date or a trailer. So like,
it's so wild.
Almost they are finding out about it at the same time we are, like this weekend today, which is crazy, really crazy.
You're saying Lisa Rinna, who breaks up families and drives people off the show, like, know more about production schedules and like timelines like that?
Yes, I mean, there's absolutely a hierarchy, right?
Yeah, and it's just like, it's just not fair, because we fund monsters on Bravos. I'm not saying Rinna's a monster. There are straight up narcissistic monsters. I'm not going to say their names.
Yeah.
Especially one, I'm not going to say she's a monster, but when they were trying to even justify on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion that Michael Jackson was acquitted of sexual, of raping. I will use the words raping young boys.
Literally. Like if you have not seen Finding Neverland, like, and you need convincing, it's one of the most horrific things I've ever seen in my life.
It's horrific.
It's horrific.
And people were like, he was acquitted. I think and then it was like,
that.
Okay,
no.
what are we, why are we giving like these people like,
no,
I don't know.
Why are we even talking about it? You know, it's like, what the fuck?
Why does Crystal have to be like, hearing Michael Jackson makes me uncomfortable?
Yeah, I know.
Did you see that part on the?
I didn't see the whole thing, but I heard about it, and fuck yeah, Crystal. I just appreciate her so much in those moments.
And just like if so, say like I've just gotten to the point where I can hear Michael Jackson again and not just be like
triggered.
My central nervous system. Yeah. And I can listen to like old 80s Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But like if you were like, oh, Michael Jackson, I can't listen to him at all, I'd be like, yes, totally understandable. Like, go with your gut. Like, I hear you, rather than fighting it.
I know. It's interesting.
And the reunion is a whole new thing, because it's like people are digging in their heels in ways that they should. I mean, Kyle coming after,
oh God,
like Crystal was just like,
Yeah.
What are you doing? This is not a good look,
I
Kyle.
saw an interview with Crystal at BravoCon where she's like, I think
What'd
I'm
she
going
say?
to buy everyone a dictionary so that they like know
Good
what
for
these
her.
words mean and stuff. Like, it was so condescending and also so right on. I was like, yeah, these bitches, like, I do think Crystal,
What I'm saying is,
like,
yeah,
thinks, she has like her flaws, which we've talked about on this podcast, and that there are certain things that like maybe she doesn't see or recognize because of the world that she's lived in. But
right.
But
And
there are a lot of things that she sees and recognizes because she's a woman of color living in Beverly Hills.
100%.
And when she comments on that shit and the women like push back and whatever, it's just so cringe. It's so cringy. I just can't. I don't know.
I just don't know why Kyle was just like, she just had a laser focus on Crystal. And I'm like, your best friend, Lisa Rinna, drove both of your sisters, like tried to paint them as monsters.
I know.
And like,
the priorities.
You're just like, yes, that's a good word, priorities. Anyway,
or lack of priorities, really.
We haven't, I want to talk about family karma because we haven't even gotten to.
So back at it, Bali asks Anisha if she's on birth control. So there's going to be...
What did Anisha say?
She doesn't say anything, but it's just like, okay, they're going to talk about that part of her journey too, probably. Although, okay, so they're showing the mugshot.
That is like, what are we doing?
Okay, then there's like preparations for Amrit and Nicholas's wedding, and Lavina Auntie hands Amrit the statue of Ganesh, who's the elephant god, and it's like, you know, this nice thing for him to like, you know, she's like, you should keep this somewhere special, and he looks under it and he's like, oh, made in China.
I love
it. And like, just everything's made in China these days. And it's like, okay, are they going to have kids? And Amrit's like, we need to freeze our sperm. And Lavina Auntie's like, okay, like it's definitely going to be a new process for everyone.
Does freezing sperm mean putting it off, or just freezing sperm means it needs to be shed?
That is a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
Probably both, maybe. I mean, I don't know how it works when you like... I think we'll find out more. I hope it's a learning experience during the season about that part of it. Because like with IVF for women, I've heard a lot about that just because I have friends who've gone through it.
We never talk, or at least I've never seen the process.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, unclear if the freezing is so that they can take some time before they have kids or not. And I know that they talked about adoption potentially in another season. So maybe things have changed for them. We'll see. Okay, so Amrita's like, we should look into freezing our sperm. Okay, now they're showing Monica and Rishi and like her grandmother who R.I.P. has passed away since, and Raj uncle, and everyone being so exciting about them like potentially getting engaged and married.
Oh my god!
And then there's a scene of like a bunch of them out at a bar somewhere talking, and Vishal's like, what's going on? And Amrit drops like, he says she thinks that Rish may be unfaithful to Monica. And Deanna, you called this. I feel like you called this.
My big fat mouth. Did I probably did. Sometimes I open my mouth and it's right, and sometimes I just open it and I don't know what I'm saying.
Or maybe it was
Remind
Rit.
me.
I remember it was you, me, and Rit had this conversation about Monica.
And what did it come up? Like, you think he was cheating?
Well, I didn't think that. One of you said that, and then I was like, oh no, it couldn't be. But now it looks like, ooh, maybe it is. Like maybe he's just like strutting his stuff all over Miami.
I wonder the extent.
I know, and maybe it's just a rumor.
The podcast, yeah, maybe they're just trying to stir the turd, but
it makes me sad.
That's tough. That makes me sad because he's and I want to say no. I want to not believe it because we met him and we had him on the podcast.
Yeah, he was so lovely,
so sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was single, I would be hitting on him.
Oh
you
yeah,
know, like he had that kind of energy of like sweet and genuine and heartfelt, and he's just amazing. And so to think that maybe that happened, or maybe I don't know.
And it's also like people sometimes these things happen sometimes, even, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad person or whatever, but
no,
we don't know. Like, we'll see
we
what
don't know.
happens.
Maybe it's pictures. I mean, I don't want to say it's anything, but like maybe it's like texting or sexting or whatever. I mean, we don't, or it could be nothing. It could be just like, you know, we heard, it's like it's like in Salt Lake City when people are thinking that like Lisa is having sex to get her tequila in restaurants. Like, we don't know, you know, it could be a rumor.
It's true.
By the way, do you think that?
No, I do not think that.
I don't think so.
Really don't think that. In any case, that's definitely going to be some drama around that. And what makes me sad about it is like clearly, not clearly, but I just get the sense that Monica has probably been in a lot of pain lately around this. You know, she was so invested, and I think Rishi was too. And it clearly didn't work out for one reason or another. And that's always sad.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Remember when it was her birthday and we're like, this is it? And then like they came back from her birthday trip and we're like, okay, it's not.
Oh, yeah. When she went to Greece.
Remember, because it was around her birthday.
You're right.
And they went to Europe.
God. It's really
and we're
sad.
like, this is going to be it. And then it's like, because when, I don't remember, is her birthday?
I think it's in early May, I want to say. And I think that's around when the season wrapped.
Oh.
But actually it did not wrap because we found out it actually wrapped like a month ago. In the end.
What is going on?
I just got a smoothie delivery.
Oh, what kind is it?
Mixed berry.
Oh, I like it. Okay, so smoothie with a spoon or smoothie that is more liquidy. I like smoothie the thicker.
I like both.
Like the one that you have.
But I do enjoy eating a smoothie with a spoon. It feels like ice cream or something.
Yes, it feels like a parfait or something without the crunchy bits.
Okay, so I'm not going to eat during this. Okay, so the big bomb that gets dropped that I was not expecting is it seems like Vishal's mom and Brian's mom have some beef.
What is that?
Vishal's like, I wish we hadn't invited her to the wedding. In the trailer, he says that.
What is she? Who's saying what? That's what we're going to get into.
So then, like,
the nitty gritty.
It sounds like there's potential tension between Vishal and Brian around that, which I think is squashed because like Brian's birthday was yesterday and Vishal like posted a really nice story about him and whatever.
Oh my gosh. So they were all in New York City.
Yeah, they were at BravoCon for Brian's birthday.
Incredible.
But there's clearly something happened between these two women and they show a little bit of like Reshma Auntie saying something to Dharma Auntie and her being like, don't tell me who I am or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I know exactly what, like, I've got you pegged or something. Like, there's going to be some auntie drama and it looks like it's between those two, which is surprising to me. It feels like Reshma Auntie is always in some drama with another auntie, right? Like it was Lopa Auntie before.
I know. Oh my gosh. And it's interesting because she is a very powerful, strong, I mean, she owns her own business. She's head of the real estate company, right?
Yeah.
And it's like she's this powerful woman. And like even when, what was it? Was it her and Vishal went out to eat or breakfast and she was basically like cutting his food. You know what I mean? Like,
I know. Vishal is definitely a mama's boy. But so is Brian, right? Like,
yes. And so both mama's boys are both protective. And it's like, this is what I want my kids to be like. Like, I want them to be protective of me, you know? And so it's cool. I actually respect it. I'm coming around. Like, I respect it so much that they're like, like staying on their mom's side rather than being like, hey, let them handle it.
Yeah. Well,
like,
it sounds like maybe in the end they've fallen into the spot of like, let them handle it because they've been okay. They like, it seems like they're hanging out and everything's fine. But I'm very curious to see how things go down between these two aunties because they're both very powerful personalities and women.
And I wasn't trying to say that Brian's mom's not powerful, but it's just interesting that
it's a different, you know, there's two different vibes. Different. Yeah.
Oh my God. Remember Brian's mom in the tortellini?
Oh, she's flambéing.
It was one of my favorite moments on the show.
Truly one of the best moments on Bravo. Like ever.
Incredible. Incredible.
And that was like that was one of those amazing like Anisha one-liners where she was like, Dharma Auntie's in the corner like flambeing tortellini.
It's so true.
So funny. Okay, so then we see a little fight between Richa and Vishal, and we see Vishal say, I fucked up, and start crying to his friends. So I'm sure that they are just fine, and they are fine.
They are married.
Relationship
but it's hard
growing
because
pains.
Like, you're planning a really big event,
yes.
and their life. It's not like they are living together, but it's hard because they're splitting. We want to remind listeners that they're splitting their time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, and it's like, what happens if one person wants to kind of stay this place more? And, you know, it's not like that traditional of like, okay, we come back to our house or apartment and this is our life. Like, there's just a lot of different layers in their relationship that are maybe people do not experience, and so that's why it's a fascinating watch.
And I do think that there's this constant tension, just from what I've seen, and who really knows, honestly, but from what we've seen of like, sometimes Vishal is like, he's like the good time guy. He's like out to party, and like so is Richa. Like Richa seems like she's a party girl, like she loves that and everything. But at a certain point, she wants him to choose her a little bit more. Like, maybe turn off the party and like let it be our relationship. So I wonder if that's what's going on in this moment too. Maybe not.
Yeah. And I feel like she's more of the organizer and the planner of life, of like, okay, well, I could see her being like, it's the right time to do XYZ.
Yeah. And Vishal like, kind of like dragging his feet.
Yeah, just like dragging his feet is the perfect word. And so it's like, my thing is like, I trust her like more than like, you know what I mean? There's something like very mature and well thought out. And I'm not with her. Like when she makes a decision, I'm not saying he's not, I'm kind of putting my foot in my mouth, but you know what I'm saying?
No, I know it. I totally am 100% there with you. And I think us as women in heterosexual relationships with long-term partners, we kind of maybe have similar, like, we can relate.
It's like I wear the pants, you know. I like, I'm like, we have this to do this week, and it's like, I always call myself the administrative person because it's like I am
absolutely the admin in my family too.
Yes, and I feel like that's what I'm saying
in
about
like
her.
A power way.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So then there's that. Let me keep the trailer going. It's sad to see Vishal cry, though. Oh my god.
It is. We've seen him cry.
Oh, and we see Monica cry. Oh my god. This Monica thing is breaking my heart, honestly.
I know.
And then it's like, oh, you know, the weddings, back to the happy weddings, and like the beautiful celebrations, and I mean, the wedding footage is going to be unbelievable.
There's the one shot at the end. Again, it's not in front of me, where they're panning out from the, like, in the sky.
Yes.
And everyone's like in front of the pool. I was like, oh my
gosh,
goodness.
so beautiful. Like what? And then they're like, show a little bit of Dharma, like Dharma Auntie throwing shade maybe on Vishal's wedding a little bit, just because it was hot and like on the beach. But I think that the auntie drama is going to be big. I think the drama with Monica and Rish is going to be big. Brian's new relationship is going to be big. Anisha, like, revealing or not revealing who her husband is sort of a big thing. We didn't see very much of Bali in this promo.
No, and that's very interesting, because I'm wondering where she's going to fall, kind of. Like, is she going to be a talking head and kind of doing the play-by-play? Because, you know, they always have that person on Bachelor in Paradise. Who am I thinking of who did it the best? You know what I mean?
Well,
and it's
this
like
season it's kind of like Casey.
Do they have a talking head?
Well, okay, Deanna, I want you to watch this last episode, because this guy named Pizza Pete comes on. And he's this like dude who owns a bunch of pizza chain in Florida, and it's all he talks about. It's not even New York. No,
incredible
in South Florida, and it's all he talks about. He's so egotistical. Like the girl he takes on a date isn't feeling it, and like pulls back when he tries to kiss her. And so his reaction is, I did everything right, so she must not be here for the right reasons.
Jenny, okay, so Jenny and I went on a run, and when we go on our Saturday runs or Sunday runs, she always gives me an update about, so Jenny's in deep.
Okay.
She listens to 2 different podcasts.
For Bachelor in Paradise?
On The Bachelor. For Bachelor Nation.
Oh my gosh.
She was telling me about there's something called the Sauce Wars.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so I didn't know that Grocery Store Joe, who does nothing for me. I only saw him on Bachelor in Paradise, and he's supposed to be like
He's supposed to be hot.
He's supposed to be like I don't think Brad Pitt's hot, but like the Brad Pitt of like Bachelor Nation, right? Is he?
No, but
what would you like? Everyone's attracted. Do you feel like people are attracted? I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah, but he's not like the obvious like Brad Pitt hot level. It's like he's like more under the radar. He was like Grocery Store Joe.
I was like, when everyone was, because I listened to the podcast anyway, she was very much confusing me, Jenny. Mm-hmm. She was like, the reason why they call it on the Sauce Wars is he has his own pizza sauce. Or
yes,
like
Joe has started his own like Italian sauce empire. I don't know if it's an empire, but brand.
Does Sabrina, okay, and this is South Asian American. Does Sabrina live with him in Chicago?
Serena is her name.
Excuse me.
I believe they live in Chicago together. It looks like it. They just had like an engagement party.
Oh, they're engaged?
They got engaged on the show. They're for real. Like they're definitely getting married. Like I think they're very in love, all of that. So
incredible. Anyway, so I just feel like maybe Bali is getting back to it being the like play-by-play, like not the announcer, but the people in the NFL that kind of are like, oh, he's there.
But what I'm wondering is like, there was talk of her getting engaged and married too.
Oh, interesting.
So are they holding on to that maybe for a season 4? And like, I swear I saw a photo of her somewhere online wearing an engagement ring. Well, this was like a year ago.
I want to see her in New York City with Anushka.
Yes, I really want to see.
Do you know what I mean?
I know. And I think hopefully we will. I mean, Bali's just everything, right? Like we just need her on the... She's one of those people who like, maybe she doesn't even have to have that much of a storyline of her own to still be very valuable to the show and the cast.
Well, and I'm wondering, like in season 1, we saw her go to her cubicle and she was selling flowers or whatever. And I'm like, is she still doing that job?
She is. I still see her posting about doing that job. I mean, she works with O'Malley, like,
right.
And that's his company, business.
Right? Yeah.
So like I don't know what she does exactly for him, but like they work together. So, yeah, I mean, who knows? Like the Bravo salary is like a very elusive thing to me. It's the
fact that Ramona Singer was getting paid the most.
Well, so now like I heard Candy got offered $2 million for the next season.
For one season?
Yeah. Which like Candy deserves.
I love Candy. Oh, Candy is she is worth so much. She's just
like she's like she's like such a gift to the whole franchise, not just Atlanta, like the whole thing. So there's that, like that's the highest level, right? I heard that's like the highest anyone has been paid for a season.
Oh my gosh,
Bravo.
I still think about when they're at the birthday party and she pulls that thing out and she goes, Candy sucks dick in the bathroom.
And like those eyes that she makes, like they're bug eyes.
And,
she's
like,
like, what is
it's like, and out of like all of the little pieces of paper she grabbed, it was a rumor about her at a kid's birthday party.
That was pure comedy, actually.
It's one of my favorite. It's like, you know, when like certain housewives things like just like the one-liners or any Bravo just runs through your head, that pops up every now and
just
then.
Unreal. Yeah, Thank you for reminding me about that, because that was one of my favorite moments of this last season of Atlanta.
And Marlo trying to go head to head with Candy, I was like, no,
girl,
what
don't even
are
try.
You doing?
So okay, that's the top of the stratosphere, and like Family Karma has been treated dirt until.
I want to know how much they're getting paid.
I know, and I'm assuming it's like probably not enough.
Do you think it's double figures or single? Like,
I want to hope that they're at least making 6 figures per season, but wait, remember we heard Leah from New York only got paid $3,000 an episode or something?
Yes, I believe that.
So that's what, like, even if there's 20 episodes, it's $60K. That's like not enough to live in New York City in that apartment.
She replaced Bethany, or like Bethany recommended her for that job.
Yeah.
And Bethany was getting paid. Obviously, Bethany's been on for a very long time, was getting paid so much. But Leah is getting like in the same like cast as Ramona Singer.
Yes.
Who was at that time the highest paid housewife.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, we're giving Ramona how much to just be racist and like completely like harmful to people and say harmful things and lower ratings, basically, because so many of us jump shipped in the middle of a Housewives season
because we couldn't watch her anymore
with her on it.
Yeah. I mean, but anyway,
do you think there's going to be a Girls Trip trailer soon? Is tomorrow going to be, you think, a Girls Trip trailer?
Maybe. Has that panel happened yet?
Yeah, because remember Leah, I was thinking about it because Leah threw the poop.
Oh, yeah.
She touched the elephant poop
Thailand.
And she got shipped back to America.
I am going to watch this one because...
Please.
I mean, what else am I going to be doing other than watching Bravo?
And it would be wild. Like, so my wishful thinking is I want Denise back. I want Rinna off. I want
Denise back so bad.
To replace.
I really want her back.
And I actually want the first episode for Denise to turn into like a She-Hulk character and confront Rinna. And then that's Rinna's last episode on Beverly Hills.
God. What? That would be so fucking amazing.
I want Kim back.
Yeah.
Kim...
I want Kim back, but I only want Kim back if she can, if it's good for her mentally and physically and as like the whole person, because I think the show has really damaged her in a lot of ways over the years.
Yes, that's actually a very important
some of that early footage when she's struggling with alcoholism is like... It's hard to watch, but it's even harder to know what some of the like judgment she must have been getting as someone who's like suffering from like a disease, really. It just like, it makes me uncomfortable to know that like the network could be exploiting that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I want to see the three sisters, the Holy Trinity, together. I just do.
Have we ever seen them on screen?
No, I mean, yeah, in the early seasons, there's a few moments where they're all together, like getting ready for like Kyle's oldest daughter's graduation and stuff.
It's just weird that Kyle has these big parties and it's like Kim's nowhere
not
to be
there.
found.
I know. Anyway, okay. So Family Karma, here we go, everybody.
So it's like 3 weeks.
So keep your
November.
Stay connected to the podcast and our socials, because we will be posting updates like all the time, and trying to do recaps like as we can. Like, everybody, my due date is Halloween, so and the show starts on November 6th. So anyone who has had a baby probably knows that it's a pretty rough. I don't know maybe rough isn't the right word. It's an all-consuming period after you have a child.
Well, as Andrew calls it, it's the reset button.
Okay, that's a really good way to put it. So like your life resets now. And now you have to relearn everything.
Yeah, it's the reset. It's just like the reset, you forgot everything.
Yeah.
And the sleeping, the
everything.
taking care
of
another entity.
Sleep. Like, seriously.
It's all reset. Just when you got comfortable, you reset it back to chaos. You know, at least if I don't remember it, but I'm sure it was.
I know,
chaotic.
And then nature helps you forget it very easily.
Wild. Yeah.
But so our recaps may be a little delayed. They may not include me for some of them. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
But
I'm
you
gonna
should
have
be
like the cast of
subscribed.
characters. Subscribe and follow us on all the socials, and rate and review us, because like get us up the iTunes ladder or wherever you get your podcasts, so we can
because
promote
part
the
of
show.
Promoting the show has become kind of promoting this podcast too, I think.
Yeah.
Because we're again, we're dedicated to the show, really. So we're the only podcast I think I know that was made to just recap the show. So with that in mind,
that's a very good point.
Bravo has paid attention to us, and we want to just elevate it all.
Instagram, Instagram looks at our reels, and right, don't they keep what is it called, algorithm or whatever?
Oh yeah,
and
they
so
look and see. I mean, and lately our reels have been getting a lot of
incredible
looks or whatever. We're so I my brain is shutting
help
off.
us reach that 10K so we can 10,000 followers on Instagram so we can get the blue check.
I don't think we can get a blue check just with that, but
you at least with Twitter you have to have news stories mentioning you, and which we do.
Yeah. Oh really? Yeah. I don't know what the rules are for that, but in any case, it would just be fun to have 10K followers. But yeah, so that's what's going on. We hope that you enjoyed our recap of the trailer and really looking forward to the season premiere. And again, we'll be updating everything we know on Instagram and Twitter. So follow us there, Family Karma Cast with a K. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Should we say our thing?
Yep. Namaste, bitches.
Namaste, bitches.